Okay, we're going to do a nice relaxation session of restorative poses. So get yourself ready, have a blanket on top of your usual yoga mat, or you don't even need a proper yoga mat for this really, but a blanket on top will just give you a little bit of extra comfort, a little bit of extra warmth. Have a folded blanket, just make sure that it's evenly folded, so sometimes they don't stay folded evenly, do they? So get that from underneath your head, and then a bolster from underneath your knees, and 2 blocks for underneath your feet. You might want something to cover your eyes with, so if you've got an eye pillow, then use that. If you haven't got an eye pillow, then you can just use like a flannel or something over your eyes, obviously a dry one. If you want blankets to cover yourself up with for warmth, then do that as well. So whatever is going to make you feel really comfortable. So sometimes I'm wearing like a hoodie. Just covering your eyes with that is enough sometimes. So just observe how your body feels releasing into the ground. Let the body rest into the ground, observing where the physical body makes contact with the floor. Just spend a moment to just collect yourself within the physical body, allowing the physical body to become heavy. Just rest into the physical body. Observe your in-breath. Observe your out-breath. If you realise that you're not comfortable, then adjust until you are. Otherwise, just allow the body to sink into the ground. Consciously unhooking the muscles from the arms, muscles from the bones in the arms and the legs. Just letting the body become a weight on the floor. Draw your attention into the soles of your feet, so that the skin and the muscle tingles with consciousness. Draw your attention into the soles of the feet, and then consciously allow the soles of your feet to completely relax. Consciously relax the sole of the foot and draw your attention into the top of the foot, the skin and the muscle and the bone, so that it tingles with awareness. Drawing your attention to the tops of your feet, and then allowing the tops of the feet to completely relax. Softening the top of the foot as it goes. Consciously relax the skin and the muscles of the top of the foot. Just finding the lightness within the bones. Relax the tops of the feet like you're smoothing clay across the top of the foot. And then draw your attention into your shins. Draw your attention into the shins and relax the shin skin. Drawing your attention into the kneecaps and the fronts of the thighs. Drawing your attention into your thighs, bringing consciousness into the action. Relax the shins into the shin bones, into the calf flesh and the calf muscle. Soften your knees and allow the fronts of the thighs to sink into the very back corners of the thighs. Relax the thighs, the fronts of the thighs into the backs of the thighs. Relaxing the knees and the shins and the top of the foot and the underside of the foot. Just let the legs consciously relax. Because when the legs relax, then that permits the rest of the body to relax. Release the pelvis, allow the hips to soften around the pelvis and around the abdomen. Using each out breath to release a little more. Allow the abdomen to soften and to relax into the exhalation. And then draw your attention up into the chest for the in-breath. Relax the chest and the shoulders, allowing the arms to sink into the ground, unhooking the muscles of the arms and the legs. So maybe as you move up the body, your body responds to it in different ways. Relax the arms, the upper arms and the forearms and the palms, letting the arms become really heavy. Draw your attention into the fingertips, letting the physical body consciously relax. Relax into the fingertips so that the body feels buoyant and light, and then draw your attention up into the skull. Draw the in-breath in through the nose and up towards the frontal lobes of the brain. Soften around the face and the jaw and the skin, just scanning the body for areas of discomfort. Just enjoy the lack of demand on the physical body. Just filling the head with the positive energy that you've released through your practice so far. If you can't access that, then don't worry, just observe it. disturb ourselves, just stay for a few more breaths of inhalation and exhalation. Okay, when you're ready to disturb yourself, just gently wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, and then bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster, have the feet apart and the knees together. Just a gentle release into the lower back. And then gently roll onto your right side, just stay down for a breath or two, no rush. And then straighten out the top leg. Just come back up into cross legs, just with the cross legs if it's comfortable, or another way if it's not. Just close your eyes for a moment, observe how your energy has changed just from just that really simple focused relaxation. Okay, so once you get a bolster for underneath your armpit chest. So I prefer an oblong bolster for this. This is just our side lying stretch. We do this one quite regularly. It's just really good for opening up stiff shoulders. Have a block for your head and have a blanket over the top of the block as well. And then you're just going to sit with your knees bent like this, and then you stretch across along that side, have the bolster in the armpit chest, and then rest your head down onto the block. And then you can just stay with the top hand on the hip, or what's really nice is if you stretch that top arm over your ear and then rest. So if there's stiffness in your shoulder of that top arm, then you can put a block underneath it, put it underneath the hand. Otherwise, just use the pose, just rest into the floor. So as you know, as we progress into our sequence, I'll speak less and less so that you can just enjoy the relaxation without having to feel like you need to listen. So I'll just talk you in and out of the poses, but other than that, I'll stay a little more quiet. Just try and breathe evenly into both lungs, even though one might feel like it's a bit restricted. Just remember, if you're not comfortable, then just adjust your position until you are comfortable. Okay, bring the top hand down, back onto the side, onto your hip. Push the bottom elbow into the floor and then just push yourself up into a seated position. Again, just observing how your energy changes, how perhaps the body doesn't feel quite even, but it feels more open on one side than on the other. So we will address that. Just sit on the other side, so sit on the other hip, bending the knees still, stretching yourself out along the bolster, and then bring the head onto the bolster. Bring your head onto the bolster, and then just stretching that top arm over your ear. Just releasing into the ground, just enjoying that feeling of release. Okay, bring that top arm back onto your hip, push your bottom elbow into the floor, and then just bring yourself back up into seated position. And again, just observing how your energy has changed, especially around the shoulders and around the side ribs. Okay, we're going to do a pose without any equipment at all. So no blankets, no blocks. Just come onto your front, and we're going to do it's the half frog. So you're just going to come onto your front, and then you create a little pillow with one hand on top of the other, and then you're going to bend out your right leg. Just stretch that right leg out to the side, just bending that knee, and then resting your head on your side so that the face is pointing in the same direction as the bent knee. So the right leg is bent, the left leg just stays straight. And then we just rest into this. If it's uncomfortable on your knee, then just move it up or down to find your comfortable spot. Ideally, it's best to have it at a right angle to your hip, that right knee at a right angle to your hip, but just find wherever it's most comfortable. Sometimes it's more comfortable to bring the knee up or down. Just find your comfortable spot. If this isn't comfortable, then you can lay on your back in Baddha Konasana, the feet together, the knees apart. So this is the half frog. So this is really nice. Gently opening up the inner hip, which is actually quite difficult to access usually. So it just gives us a nice gentle stretch on the inner groin. Just keep breathing nice and evenly, focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. Okay, just lift your head, straighten out that right leg, just rest with your forehead on the back of your hands for a moment. And then stretch out the left leg. Bring your head over in the same direction, so rest your head on your side with your chin in the same direction as your bent knee. And then just again resting into the floor. Just adjusting for comfort. Just allowing the body to just totally melt into the floor. Just keeping the breath deep and regular. Okay, just lift your head, stretch the leg out, just rest with your forehead resting on the back of your hands for a moment. Just resting back into the floor. Applying a little gentle pressure onto your forehead, just quietening the frontal lobe of the brain. Okay, we'll just raise your head, just come up onto your elbows and then just roll up and sit yourself in cross legs again. Just observe how your energy has changed, how your energy feels light on the inside. Okay, we will finish in the way that we began. So just have a folded blanket for underneath your head and then a bolster for underneath your knees. And then just, you don't need anything for underneath your feet this time. Just guide yourself down into a straight line. The folded blanket for underneath your head. And then just find your comfort. So even if that means just moving about a little until you are completely relaxed. And then allow the body to rest into the floor. Feel how the body connects to the ground. Observing how the body feels in connection to the floor. Does the body feel evenly connected to the ground? On both sides, adjust if not. Consciously unhook the muscles from the bones of the arms and the legs. Allow the physical body to become heavy. And then out of that heaviness, observe that feeling of irrepressible lightness radiating from the bones. Filling the muscles with energetic lightness like a golden light shining from the bones and into the muscles. So from every bone in the limbs, feel that they are glowing with a warm golden light that radiates into the muscles and into the organs and into the flesh and the skin. Just observe that feeling of energetic lightness radiating from the bones and into the muscles, into the organs and the flesh and the skin. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness down into the toes and into the fingertips and all the way up into the top of the head. Basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. And then when you're ready to disturb yourself, wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, bring yourself back into this pose of Shavasana. Bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster, have the feet apart and the knees together, just rest in your back into the floor. And then very gently roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then stretch out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just cross legs with your hands in the mat seat, just a final spinal lift. Draw your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice. Good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the reclining poses bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you've created around the heart area. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. To people, to places, to things that need our positive energy. And then release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open. With your hands on the backs of your knees. The backs of your hands on your knees even. And raise your head and allow your eyes to softly open. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel as though you have really lifted your energy, given yourself good, positive energy to put into your evening. So thank you very much for joining me.